right, so here we have it. The man of the hour. He's been in numerous films and television series, and currently he's on a show called Hotel Cocaine, streaming on MGM Plus. And let me tell you something, his performance is off the hook, and every actor's dream is to play his role on this show. Please welcome Yul, the Cuban sensation, the handsome bastard that he is, Vazquez in the house. How are you, baby?
My God, greatest introduction I've ever had.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Unbelievable. I'm good, Eddie. I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to be here with you, truly. And I think you're a charming, entertaining motherfucker.
Hey, I appreciate the kind words, and you can use as much as profanity as much as you want because it's all
Oh,
love.
good.
Yeah. So you see, you since you're a Cuban-American actor, and I smoke my cohibas. I don't know if you can see it,
Wow.
right? Yeah, there
I
you go.
see it. I saw the smoke. I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah. How come it's not focusing? But whatever, it's focusing on me. So anyway, um, I was watching this show, and I said to myself, "Who the hell is that guy right there?" I like this show. And I'm focusing on you. And I'm like, what's his name? I know I saw him somewhere before. I mean, this guy's got that look. So I Google you. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Seinfeld, a little bit. American Gangster, and a whole bunch of films. And I said, I like this guy because your performance on the show, Hotel Cocaine, your listening skills, that's what I focus on mostly. It was just spot on, man.
That is That's the biggest compliment you can give an actor. I got to tell you that because that's the one thing that was drilled into us when I studied with Esper and other teachers I studied with. Um, that's the key, man. That's everything. I truly feel that if someone can listen really well, it's like when you go have a conversation with somebody you just met. You don't have a script. You don't know what the other person's going to say. They don't know what you're going to say. So you meet this person and you have a conversation. And that conversation, if you shot that, it could be a scene. You know what I mean? You don't know. And so, but what is happening in there is both people are listening to each other because they have to, because they don't know what's coming. So I think I am of the mindset that you could take a script that you've never read, take a scene you've never read, and act it. If you're really listening to the other person, you will have truthful um, reactions on both sides.
And that's very important, right? I mean, think about it. If you're, you know, the lines could be said any way if you're in the moment, right? Like
Correct.
literally, if
Correct.
you're really, really listening, your impulse will come naturally to make it look authentic, right? I mean, do you agree?
100%. 100%, man. 100%. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's not. There's no magic. There's no. I mean, there's moments of magic that can happen because people are so connected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when two actors are really connected in a scene, and they're also connected to what their intention is. You know, then you can have this magic. You can have this moment where there's a separation, like happens within you, where you're fully connected to this other person and you're fully grounded. So it is like this is going to sound really fucking crazy, but it's like as close to enlightenment as I think one one can be, because like true enlightenment is an unbelievable amount of presence, an unbelievable amount of being fully in the present, you know. And those moments in acting can happen. They're fucking rare, but they can happen, and they usually happen on stage.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. You
You
know,
know,
so now this show, Hotel Cocaine, listen, how much fun were you having on this show? I mean, look at the setting. I mean, listen, as an actor myself, I dream to play roles like that. You know, your role
yeah.
especially, right? I mean, how much fun did you have doing that?
Well, I had a lot of fun because it's a human being who is untethered. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not 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 constrained by societal norms. You know, not he doesn't have to adhere to. He adheres to his own beat, his own drummer. So he it's very freeing. You know, there's almost nothing you can't do. And if you set it up, if you get the train on the tracks the right way, then the audience will accept anything this person does because they're like, this guy is unhinged. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's an incredible amount of fun for an actor. It can be if you fully give into it, you know. And had great people to work with, you know, Danny Pino and Mike Feuerstein and Michael Chiklis and Karina Bradley and Tanya Watson, Maida Hermosillo. I mean, I just go on and on and
Yeah.
on. You know, the cast. You know, Pedro Giunti who plays Guillermo, who I became very close with. We all became very close, but I love working with him. He's such a fantastic actor, compelling to watch. You know, and um, you just have fun. I mean, I can't say that it didn't have its moments of difficulty, as anything can. You know what I mean? And shooting in a remote place like the Dominican Republic comes with its own sort of set of situations, but we had a great time shooting the show. You know, we also got we had the strike dead center in the middle of our season. So we literally shot four and then had a 6 month strike
Right.
and then went back and shot another four, which is like just bananas. You know what I mean? Because you literally just put it down and then you went away for 6, 7 months and then you fucking come back and you got to pick up
Right.
where you left off. That was 7 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like so you referenced like cuts they had, and we're like, okay, so we know we're here, and because you literally were shooting a scene that connected to a scene you shot 7 months ago.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
like
The 7 months
that's
is
a
a
lot
long
of
time, man.
that's a lot of space, man. Yeah, it's a lot of
Exactly.
space to be like, wait, where were we, dude? Like, so. But that's part of the challenge, and that challenge was okay, and we got through it. We did it. I mean,
So, Yul, here's my
so
question to you, right? Here's my question. When
yeah,
you got Hotel Cocaine, was it a straight offer? Did Chris Brancato offered you the role, or you had to do a reading?
the part was offered to me. I did a chemistry read, but I had worked with Brancato on Godfather of Harlem,
Mm-hmm.
so I did Godfather of Harlem. And there's another guy called Michael Paines that's partners with Chris
Mm-hmm.
that I've known for 25 years. So they came to me. They came to me. I was in Greece working on something, and they came to me to talk to me about Godfather of Harlem season 3 to play uh, a character you might dig reading about
Yeah,
because
him.
there's a great exactly yeah right. Um, so there's a great book on that guy called The Corporation.
Yeah, you know
Uh,
what? I'm gonna buy that book. I was looking at it last night. I was like, I love reading shit like that.
that fucking guy was terrifying.
But he was a cop, right?
That,
He was a cop, and then he was a lieutenant in the army, and then he was involved in the no.
he was one of Batista's cops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a policeman, I think, in the Batista, and then I think he had some involvement. I'm not quite sure. You got to read the book. But then he comes to the States, and then he gets involved in the bolita business,
Right.
which a lot of people don't know. Bolita. I know you know what bolita is, but other people don't know what the fuck bolita is. You know what I mean? It's numbers racket.
Racketeering.
Um, well, but it's actually numbers. It's like you're betting on numbers, and it goes with the lotto. You know what I mean? It was
Oh,
like when I
okay.
was a kid.
Yeah, I know.
When I was a kid in Miami Beach, my mother would send me. Would send me to the bodega in the corner. I never forget Marrero, and she'd go. Literally, she would send her. She'd go, get me a pack of Benson and Hedges. I'm not. This is like, get me a pack of Benson and Hedges 100s,
The
a loaf
cigarettes.
of Cuban, a loaf of Cuban bread,
Right.
and tell so and so to play 7 and 14 and 21, and then that was the backdoor
No, I remember
gambling.
that growing up. I remember that. Yeah, go ahead.
So this dude became the fucking kingpin on the Eastern Seaboard of that, you know.
Mhm.
And he got involved with the Italians, which was unheard of for a Cuban guy to do business with the Italians. Italians didn't do business; they did business with Italians. You know, but and so his story is unbelievable. Read the book; the book's incredible.
And
But
there was supposed to be a film about him, but Benicio's supposed to be playing him, right? That didn't go through.
yeah, I think that fell apart. I don't know.
Right.
I don't quite know what the hell happened with that movie. It's a very strange situation with that film, but um,
But the timing was perfect, right? Because you read the book, and all of a sudden, Chris and his partner calls you and says, "Hey, we got a role for you in The Godfather of Harlem," and the role is Jose Miguel Battle, right?
right. And they're like, do you know who Miguel Battle is? And I go, dude, I know everything about Miguel Battle. I mean, not everything, but I know what I read in the corporation, and I was super interested, and I was super into the story. Um, and I knew about the bolita business from when I was a kid because my mother would play the bolita. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so like,
Right.
so so they came to me with this, and I said, let's go, let's do it. You know what I mean? Because nobody had played Miguel Battle. No, nobody had seen Miguel Battle on any screen, not
Right.
big, small. And it was an opportunity to play Miguel Battle, and I wanted to do it. So I did it, and I did basically 9 out of 10 episodes in season 3 of Godfather of Harlem. And from there began the conversation for Hotel Cocaine, which is something that they already had cooking, I think. And um, uh, it just got more, once they had those ducks in a row, then that came down and there was a sketch of a pilot that I had read, and um, then it became real, and
What's going on
then
there? Hold on a minute. Are you?
and then became about finding.
I think the lip sync. Go ahead. Speak right now. Let me hear you.
Hi.
Okay, good. You're good. Yeah, your Wi-Fi went out a little bit. All right, go ahead. So
Yeah,
then
I mean,
the
one of my screens here, I'm on a delay, and then the other screen under you is in real time,
no.
which is probably what you're seeing.
You're good right now. I'll tell you if
Okay.
you're delayed or not. You're good.
Well, I can see. I have two screens on. There's two images of me on my screen. There's one bigger next to you, and then
Hmm.
there's a little tiny one under you.
If you get rid of the tiny one, what would happen?
I don't know how to get rid of it.
All right, then leave it alone. Then I don't want you walking away. But it's where we're recording. We're not live, so don't worry about
Wait, hold this whole thing. Okay, are you there?
it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. So anyway, so from Godfather of Harlem, we went in. We found our way to Hotel Cocaine.
So now here's my question. When you see as an actor, right? I mean, acting school paid off, right? You look at the script. You read the script. Give me your process. What are you doing exactly? You read it, then what? How do you
You
create it?
read,
How do you service it? Talk to me about that.
you read. I mean,
How you do it?
you
You
know,
specifically, you.
yeah. Well, I can only tell you how I do it. I don't know
All
how.
right,
I mean, I
exactly.
have an idea how other people do it, but I know what works for me. Like you go to acting school and they teach you a lot of things and all really valuable things. And some things stay with you and are super useful for you, and some things aren't. Some things are maybe more useful for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know. I read the thing and I see what my instincts say. You know, do you have, it's all about what are your instincts for this part. You know what I mean? And then you have your ideas for the part, and then you have conversation with the directors and the producers, and hopefully you're on the same page. And then when you go do the job, you begin to. I usually work with a woman called Maggie Flanagan, and it's
That's
more script analysis.
that's my
You
acting
know,
teacher. That was my acting teacher.
Maggie, one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
One of the greatest ever. I've also worked with a guy called Terry Knickerbocker, who
Yeah,
was,
he's in
uh,
Brooklyn, I know.
yeah, he's in Brooklyn now, and he was at Espers, and Maggie was at Espers.
Exactly.
But Maggie, I do like a script analysis thing with Maggie. So what happens with Maggie is we never actually read scenes. We talk about, she reads the script and she'll come to you with like literally like a trillion notes. It's absolutely unbelievable. And she'll say, we'll start talking about, okay, why is the person behaving like this? You know what I mean? Why is the guy behaving like this? And then that's how I begin to put it together. And then I believe there's one or two things all you need is one or two things that you can hang apart on. You know what I mean? Like to propel you through a script. Television is different than a film because a film is a finite thing and you know where you're going from point A to B, you know, because it's a finite script. A television show, you don't know the scripts that are coming.
Right.
You might have the pilot and episode 2, but you don't have episode 4 or 5. You don't know where this guy's going. That wasn't the case on Severance. On Severance, I knew exactly where I was going. We could chart that because I knew exactly what I was supposed to go in there and do, and I knew it was 4 episodes. So that's a rare occasion, you know what I mean? But uh, so in a film, you can, or in a play, you really sort of know where you're starting and when you're ending, and then for me, it's about you do all your homework, make your choices, whatever those choices are. You're like, you know, um, this, that, the other thing. He feels like this. I'm going to intimidate him here. I'm going to educate him
So
here.
you're using your actions.
Correct. You use your actions, but you do all that homework, and then you just put that away, and then you go to work. This is the thing. Then you got to be in that room, because what I see happening sometimes is I get in the room with other actors, and I can tell you that they've decided 3 weeks ago how they're going to do the part.
And you could tell that right away, right in the beginning, right? Like you could tell what's
Well,
planned.
because no matter what you do, they're doing the same thing.
Right, right.
They're set. They decided something, and listen, that works for some people. I'm not saying you got to do you, but I think you rob yourself of the experience of doing this. Is the game to just show up and like do this performance and then leave, or is the game to like show up and let's see what happens?
Right.
Imagine the joy of seeing something unexpected happening in the room. Wow, that fucking happened. And I think everything informs the desk, the furniture, the fucking props, this thing, the other thing. It's all here. It's all here. It's Wednesday at 1:47 p.m. and we're shooting this scene, Yul and Eddie. And if we shot this scene tomorrow at 3:30 p.m., it would be different because it's a
Right.
different day. The air is different. You feel different. I feel, all that. If you're not there in the room, I think you've robbed yourself, and I think the world of the possibilities of what could have happened in the room. That's not saying that you don't have to come in with your homework. You got to come in with your ideas, and your trajectory, but then you got to really leave yourself the fuck alone and see and go, yo, I wasn't expecting him to do that. That's causing me to do this. And then we go. And then it's like,
Yeah. And it's a tennis
I don't know.
match. It's tennis. You're reacting now, reacting to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
moment.
I mean, that's the fun though. That's the
Yeah.
fun, or else, I mean, honestly, you got to have fun. You got to go do a job and enjoy it. Because if not, I did so many jobs early on that I didn't enjoy because I was afraid. I was this, I was that. And I was like, what's the point of any of this? It's hard enough to do this, like, with everything going great. If I'm not going to enjoy this, what the fuck am I doing here? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like life's too fucking short, man. Like,
Life's going too fast, my man. It's going too
yeah,
fast.
yeah, it's fucking flying by. You're like, let's go. So that's my approach to it, man.
Mhm.
And then things. I
But how much of the
I
technique you use from the Meisner technique to acting right now? Do you use 100%? Do you use 90% of it? You know what I mean? Sometimes you could use some of it and then you use something else that works for you personally.
well, the only thing I know is that I never studied with any other teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Bill Esper. That was what I learned. I didn't go to other acting schools. I got lucky, I guess. I landed at a place that had useful things. You know what I mean? But even Bill would say, use you'll learn things here that you'll use and things you won't use. Use what works for you. You know what I mean? I don't know any other way. It's funny. I just went to see. I'm really good friends with Vincent D'Onofrio, and Vincent teaches. He teaches.
Oh,
He
he's a
teaches like
Strasbourg,
once.
right? He's a Strasbourg guy.
Yeah. So he has an incredible thing he does over there. He in exchange for him going and teaching there, he can give away a scholarship there,
Mm.
which is amazing. So they don't pay him. Obviously, he doesn't do it to get paid. He does it to give away the scholarship. So he goes there. I think he does he teaches once in a while. He comes in, he teaches a few classes, and and he said, "Hey, you want to come in and watch these students?" And I got to watch him teach, and it gave me a window into how how his mind works, which is thought was really really great. And it was amazing to watch him with the students because they fucking love him. You know what I mean? And he's so like they admire him so much, and they feel like they're getting so much. And he's giving them a lot,
Oh yeah.
and they're getting like. I wanted to say to all of them. I just want to interrupt the class for a second and say you're getting gold from a master. Like, I hope you understand what you're getting here, because this is the real deal. He's a real working actor. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean?
He was on my show.
And it's he was.
Yeah, he was on
I
my
love it.
podcast. Yeah.
He's the
I
fucking dude.
I
He's
had
amazing.
I had him and he opened up to me. I mean, he literally opened up to me. I mean, we were having a lot of fun. I had Catherine
I bet.
Narducci from
Mm-hmm.
she was like 15 episodes of Godfather Harlem. And then I had the executive producer, Kawan, something like that. I forgot him. Oh, I forgot his name. Holy
Oh
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. From
And
Godfather.
yeah, from Godfather Harlem.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah, yeah.
so with
Catherine
Vincent.
Narducci is fantastic, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she's the best. I mean, we
Amazing.
I go to events too, like at a cigar event with Chas Palminteri, and she's there once in the blue moon. In the
Yeah,
baseball business, Lee Mazzilli, former baseball player, she goes to his
yeah.
charity. So I was at Yankee Stadium last night. That was a tough ass loss, Yul. Tough, man. October baseball. This is where I go nuts. This is do or die,
I
man.
I I hate to disappoint you, but
I know you
I
don't
don't follow
know.
sports.
Yeah, but you know what? You had an opportunity to throw the first pitch at Brooklyn Cyclones, and what happened to that? At least experience that.
What happened? I didn't go, right?
You didn't go. You sold out.
No, I don't think I was here, dude.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you weren't here.
I did go. I did go to a Cyclones game, though.
You did.
I went to a Cyclones game, yeah, a while back. I would go if I'm here. I would go throw the pitch at a Cyclones game. I mean, I hope I get it over there to the catcher. You know what I mean?
I'll give you some
That'd be
lessons.
embarrassing.
I'll have a catch
Please.
with you, and I'll give you the proper technique. But then, just like in the miser technique, once you're there, let it go. Just let it happen. Throw out the homer.
That's it. You just gotta let it go.
You
Right.
gotta
That's
let it
right.
go.
Right.
No thinking aloud because you can't think. And let me tell you something, there's a difference between acting and sports. Yes, we're both performers, right? But here's the thing.
Yeah.
In acting, you could fuck it up. You could do another take. In sports, you strike out. You let the ball leave it up in the zone. The guy hits a home run. Game over. You're done. You are done.
Yeah.
Your team is not celebrating. The posing is with the champagne.
No, I know. No, and I know that, and that's terrifying.
And you're very terrifying. So
that's like doing a play. That's what you're doing a play. You're
right,
like,
exactly. There's no other take.
You can't roll that back and do it again.
Right.
Right.
So yeah. So now you growing up, right? Obviously, listen. I mean, in Cuba, it was a communist country. It was tough, right? Your father left you. You just had your mom, and who else? How many brothers and sisters you had?
My parents were divorced. We came from my mother. I have a sister.
Mm-hmm.
I have a full sister who passed away in 23, and I have.
Wait a minute. Last year she passed away?
Yeah, she passed away in March of 23.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry, you. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was very strange situation with a bout of long COVID, and then that caused some pulmonary issues, and it passed away right before I started shooting Hotel Cocaine. Yeah, that's a whole other story, brother. But and then my father had a second family, and then I have 5 half siblings from my father's second marriage. Yeah, and my father, he didn't last with that woman either. Shock.
But was he there
But
for you growing up?
yeah.
Was he there for you growing up?
No, he was in Cuba.
Oh, he was in Cuba. Okay.
No, my parents were divorced. My father couldn't leave Cuba, and my parents were divorced anyways. And he had this other lady, and he had this other family. So my mother's like, I'm not raising my kids under communism. We're not doing that. And she split. She split with me and my sister. I was 2.5. My sister was like almost 9 years old. So it was my mother didn't speak English. Came to Miami Beach, also with my grandmother, and we all lived together. I was the youngest and the only male in the house, and it was it had its amazing moments to be raised by women.
Yeah. Well,
because everything.
It's similar to me. I mean, my father left us when I was 4. I don't know where he's at. You know what I mean? So I grew up with just my mom and my brother. So and I don't play no victim card. I never did drugs. I'm not a criminal. I just said, look, it is what it is. This is how I was raised, and that's it.
Well, you're right. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
You have no control.
That's absolutely right. No. There's no control. And plus, I was too young to know anything, really. You know what I mean?
Me too. Exactly. I could understand I could understand if a kid will go through like, oh man, my father left me when I was 13. Okay, I could understand the kids, emotionally he's really hurt and stuff like that. But when you're 4 years old and like your scenario 2 or 1, it's like, what do you know?
Yeah. You don't know. You don't know much. I knew I had one good parent. I think that's all you need is one good parent.
Mm-hmm. You lost her too in 2009, right? That's what happened.
I lost my mother in 2009. Yeah, and my father died in 2002.
Holy shit, you. So who do you have left?
I have my wife, and I have my niece and nephews.
How many nieces and nephews?
My sister's kids. So my sister had 5 kids.
Oh, okay, all right.
So my sister had 5 kids, so I don't have any kids. My sister had 5 kids, and those kids have become like my kids. It's really, really really the first three are the ones I'm really, really close to. You know, my niece Vanessa is an actress, does been on Broadway, is really, really good. Lives in New York. And my mother was an actress. You know, it's kind of in the family biz in a way. And my cousin Donna is a costume designer on movies, lives in LA. She's a stylist. She has a son named Yul.
Oh wow. So listen, your family, it's all artistry, baby. I mean, look at this. I love it.
It's a lot of artistry. You know who my wife is, right?
Yeah, she's the Disney legend, the
My wife is a
voice.
Disney legend. Yeah,
How you like that? Did I
yeah.
say that right or what?
No, you got it perfectly right. You got it
Oh, there
perfectly
you
right.
go. You see that? Look, right here. So speaking of your wife, right?
That's it.
So
My
who
God,
hit?
that's Bad Boys 2 premiere.
Yeah. So who hit on who? Like, what happened? Was she all over you? Were you all over her?
No,
Or you guys were
we
friends at first? What happened?
we were friends. You know, we were in the same circle of friends. I was in a circle of friends that like a lot of people I met at Espers. You know, Sam Rockwell became my best friend. Was the
Well,
best man at my wedding.
he went to William Esper too, right?
Yeah, that's how I met him,
Wow.
and that's where we became friends. And
Hmm.
he was the best man at our wedding.
Wow.
So I mean, he's a guy I've known this guy a very long time. So Sam knew Linda, and my friend Tony Gillen also knew Linda. Linda and Tony had the same manager, and there's a group of friends that all knew each other. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So Linda and I knew each other, but it wasn't till a little after we sort of knew each other that we started dating. So, so it started as a friendship, really, first. You know what I mean? Which, you know, is pretty ideal way to do it.
Yeah. I hear you. So
Yeah.
she didn't put you in the friend zone forever. She said, "Well, I'm kind of feeling this guy, so
No,
now."
no. Yeah. Thank God. No, I didn't get friend zoned. No. Um, but it found its way in a very organic way. You know what I mean? It all just sort of, um, and we've been together a long time, so
How many years?
it's a good run. Shit, we've been married. We got married in 2002, so
Oh
we've
wow.
been together like 28 years,
Okay, but so when
I
is your
think.
25th anniversary coming?
Uh, well, 2025. Well,
You said
I
2002
think
you
we
got
got
married, right?
yeah. So we
Oh,
got a couple of years.
well, you listen. It's coming up, baby. We got to celebrate.
Yeah, yeah. No. Yeah, I'm gonna hire I don't know, mariachi band. No, I'm just kidding. I don't,
You know what?
my mother loved my
What
mother
would
loved
you? Well,
mariachi bands.
you're a musician yourself. How about you play that guitar right in front of her?
Yeah, yeah. Well, she seen me play the guitar probably more times than she like. But yeah, because I play at home a lot. I just I enjoy. I haven't been in a band in years, but I hang out with a lot of dudes in bands, and
Mm.
friends with guys in big bands, and go see them play. It's great.
And you love painting, right? This is your painting right here.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, look at that. Am I good or what? Hey, Yul, am I doing good research on you or what?
Dude, you're unbelievable. I mean, you're like some kind of private investigator.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah, yeah,
as an actor, you gotta be like a detective in the script, right? You gotta really know every word. You gotta know why you're saying it, right? The intention. You gotta know what
yeah.
the hell's going on.
No, you do. That painting,
Hmm.
a version of that painting is now is in a show that's for breast cancer awareness. So because of the pink and the divine
Oh yeah, the
feminine, and
pink, right?
so that's all in. Yeah, that just went off actually yesterday. I handed it off to the gallerist. Um, but yeah, I love paint. I love making stuff, man. I make these hats. This is like the third iteration of the 305 hats. Um, and I love making. I don't know, man. I just love creating stuff. I mean, it's like I I honestly don't know what else to do
Well,
really with
you know what
myself.
is when you're an artist in acting, you consider yourself as an artist. you got to keep your brain occupied by doing things, like creating more and more, right? Do you craft every day? Like every day I craft, like in my head. I'm just crafting. Like I can't live without it.
Yeah. Well, I'm also working on putting together. I have 3 movies in the moment. I'm trying to put together 2 movies. I'm trying to put together and a TV show, but that I'm working on developing. So that there's always a conversation about it. I was on the phone last night at 11 o'clock. I don't really stop. Like I don't. I mean, you might be the same way. I don't like. I have I have an immigrant mentality in that I think like I've had a job since I was 12 years old. Um, so
Me too. I was a
I don't,
paper boy.
yeah.
I was delivering
So you get it.
newspapers. Yeah, I get it, man.
That's it.
I was bartending
So
at 14 in Brooklyn, and I lied to them. I told them I was 18.
that's amazing. Bartending at 14 is unbelievable.
I was
You weren't even
making,
old enough to drink.
yeah, you know what? Listen, I went to a library back then because there's no social media back then or Google.
Yeah.
You see the drink, how to make drinks, right? And next thing you know, I was making $200 to $300 a night at this gangster place. It was all gangsters, and I was the bartender. And I was giving that
They
money
must have
to
loved you.
Oh yeah, I was giving that money to my mom. I just kept 20 for myself. I was living in
Yeah.
Canarsie, the projects. You know what I'm saying? So it's like playing high school baseball and playing summer league, and it's like I didn't care. I just said I don't care, man. I'm making money. I'm helping my mom out at the time, playing baseball, what I love to do. Then I got a full ride scholarship down in Florida. You know what I mean? So I get it, man. Working at a young
Yeah.
age, I loved it.
Yeah. So it's like it just keeps me. It's what I like to do, man. I'm constantly trying to I think I get sad if I'm not if my mind isn't going and making stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put together, like I said, this movie, and one of them's starting to get a little traction. So it's you know, waiting to see what happens with season 2 of Hotel Cocaine, and so
Oh, I can't
just
wait.
finished the movie that'll be out next year. Uh, Paul Greengrass movie for Apple about a fire. It's called The Lost Bus. Matthew McConaughey. So it's cool.
This
America
picture.
Ferrera.
Yeah, America Ferrera, Ugly Betty. Yeah, she was
It's
awesome in
great.
that. That picture right there, is that your artwork too?
Yeah, it's all my artwork.
Now listen, you like street photography. Now my girlfriend loves street photography. She has that camera, the Fuji. You ever heard the Fuji film camera, that street photography camera that came out the second version is
Yeah,
this
the
past year.
X100V.
Yeah. Do you use that too?
I don't use that camera. I use stuff like this.
Oh shit, okay.
I use stuff like this.
Oh, wow.
This is a panoramic camera. It shoots a 24 by 65 negative. So it's like 235 millimeter frames together. I use shit like this.
You're like my good friend Stephen Kunkin. You know the actor Stephen Kunkin from
I don't think
Billions?
so.
Huh?
Who was he on Billions?
He was the Ari Speros character, the like the dweeb character. It was funny. He was so good.
I didn't really watch Billions that much, but I'm sure I've seen him. I'm sure I've seen him in
You've
something
seen
else.
him. If you Google him, he's a photographer nut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I have, but I've been doing it since I was a little kid. Photography's been in my life since I was really little.
So
My
what
mother
would you
bought
do?
me a camera.
So you would come out of your apartment and you say, "Today, I'm going to take pictures of the street." So what would you just go out there and take
No,
pictures?
the camera is always with you.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, look
Okay.
at this. Look at the size of this camera.
Yeah, you could put it in your pocket.
Right, which is where it goes. It goes in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk around. The camera's like this. I'll show you. I wrap the strap around like this,
Mm-hmm.
and the camera's in my hand like this. And I'm walking around, or I'm in an Uber, and I just fucking, it's just you just don't know. I
That's
take the
awesome.
photo.
Right.
In fact, I'm going to take a photo of us right now.
I
Take
love
it
it.
like this. So it's just like it's an extension of my arm. It's like because you don't. Here's the thing: you don't know when the photos are coming. The photos are all around you, you know,
Hmm.
and you gotta just shoot it, you know, and shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Listen, talk to me about the Seinfeld audition, right? You go into the audition, right? Now,
Yeah.
did it say the character, the description of the character, right? In the script, you see it on the sides. It says Puerto Rican, hothead, gay. Was that it, or you just created that shit?
No, it said Bob, the intimidating gay guy.
Intimidating gay guy. Okay, that
That's what
was
it's
it.
called, literally. Bob, the intimidating gay guy.
Okay.
So I, well, back. I don't know if they still do it. I don't know how a lot of the stuff works too much right now, but back then, like you would be. So I was in LA. I was in LA, and I get a phone call. It's literally the story. I get a phone call. Can you get over to
Radford, right?
uh,
Radford Studios?
CBS? Yeah. Yeah. Can you get over to CBS Radford? Last minute audition for an episode of Seinfeld that literally starts working like the next day. So they would do that. The writers' room would write a character that day that worked like in the next 2 days. So they had these last minute auditions. You had to get the fuck down there, and there was no email, phone, none of that shit. So
No
you
self-tape.
went down there.
Right.
No, none of that shit. You went down there and you got the sides right there, and you sat down and you had 5-10 minutes to look at it, and then you were going in the room to read for them, and you were reading for all the bosses because a decision had to be made right away because this shit was working in the next day or two.
What about you? So it
I
was a
mean,
cold read, you're telling me. It was a cold read then.
it's a cold read.
Holy shit. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because they just literally wrote the fucking characters.
Holy
So, you
okay.
know, but that's how TV often works. They
Hmm.
write this character, and you got to cast it last minute, and the machine gets going, and then the people who can say yes are in the room because somebody has to say yes because this thing has to fucking work. You need the guy or the girl, you know. So I go down there,
Now
Bob the
give me
intimidating
step by
guy.
step. You go down there, you read the sides. Go ahead. I love this. Go ahead.
I go to CBS Radford. I pull in.
Hmm.
I go to the gate there. They go park over there. I park. I walk over the fucking maze of those studio lots. They gave you a map, and you're like, once you pass Bungalow, I mean, literally, like, and they make a left, and you more than not, you get fucking lost. And I had to ask 14 carpenter building a set who didn't really want to talk to me. Sir, do you know where I could find room 147 or some shit? And I'd be like, no, I don't really know. I'm just here I'm doing a day job here. We're building a set or some shit. Like it was a mess, dude, because you had to park. Actors had to park in the general parking lot. They didn't let you drive to park right close to where your audition was. You parked in the fucking parking lot and then you walked. And those lots are massive.
Hmm.
They're massive, as you know.
Right.
So you could be a 10-minute fucking walk to your shit. You know what I mean? You know. So I get there and I'm sitting there and I get the sides and I see Bob, the intimidating gay guy. And I go, what am I going to do with this? And I had the idea to do basically an impersonation of my mother
Okay.
because
So
my mother was a very intimidating person.
mm,
My mother was tiny and she was fucking terrifying. And there was one law in my house, one law, and it was her, which is probably why I never got involved in drugs ever in my life. And I played in bands with major drug addicts, man.
right.
But I was afraid of my mother, and I didn't want to disappoint my mother, you know, and I knew that I had to be good at whatever the fuck I was going to do. If I was going to play guitar, my mother's like, you want to have long hair? You can have long hair. But the minute I said there's fucking any drugs or any shit in this fucking house, it's a fucking rap. You know what I mean? And I was like, she goes, you want to play guitar? Go ahead, you play guitar. You know, my father was a surgeon. Like, there was never any pressure on my sister or I to go into medicine. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wanted to be an amazing guitar player. So I didn't do drugs. I didn't do anything. I just fucking played guitar. So my mother was super intimidating and terrifying. So I make a decision. I'm going to go in there and do an impersonation of my mother. And that's what I did. You know, I went in there and I went in there. I go in the room and Jerry and Larry David are in the room and the casting director. And hi, I go, hey, how you doing? You know, and I read this thing and I do this impersonation of my mom. And they're like, they look at me like, what the fuck was that? I go, it's kind of an impersonation of my mom. And they're like, all right, can you do it again? So I did it again. And they're like, okay, can you wait outside? So I go outside. There was a couple of guys there, you know. So I wait outside, and then so I come back in. Can you come back in? I come back in. I do it again. They're like, okay, great, thank you. And then I leave. And then I get a phone call that I got the job.
Wow. So you know what? The technique did pay off at William Esper because what we were taught, the Miser technique, when you go read something or when you get cast, make it personal. And that's what you did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I did. I did make it personal. I also feel, and this is something I think Bill used to talk a lot about, was I think the person, I think, has to come through the actual person. Like, I think any character that Eddie Mata does, I think Eddie Mata has to come through, because what is unique to the character when you do it is that Eddie Mata's doing it.
It's you. Exactly. Right. I
Right.
agree. Yeah.
So you can't, people go, oh my God, you became this other character. Listen, you can't become another person. I always tell this story. I saw Chris Walken moderating at the Actor Studio, and somebody said, how do you do it, Chris? You became this other guy. He said, listen, you can't become another person. That's schizophrenia. That's a psych disorder. I said, it's always me. Do you understand?
Right. Right. Exactly.
It's always me.
The character
Through the
is
lenses. Right, through the lenses of what the text is, what the writer has said. So, but ultimately, you come through. Have you been watching The Penguin?
I saw the first episode just a little bit, but I fell asleep. It was late night. It was like 1 a.m. Do you like it?
It's remarkable.
Colin Farrell's no joke, huh?
Colin Farrell is incredible in it. He's under the genius prosthetics of Mike Marino, who is a fucking genius. But still, Colin Farrell comes through. You know what I mean?
Right.
Colin Farrell comes through. My wife just walked in. Colin Farrell comes through the character, and that's my wife.
How are you?
That's Eddie Mata says hi, sweetie. So that's the thing that's really incredible, and that always has to be the case. You have to come through, man. You mean, or if not, what's the difference between if you do it or Joe Schmo does it? I mean, it's Joe Schmo's got to come through if he's doing it.
Right.
You know, I want to see pieces of the human coming through, because that's what makes it unique to you.
Right. Yeah. He's amazing, Colin Farrell. I mean, that no joke, unreal. What other shows? What other
Really,
actors?
really great.
Besides you loving Montgomery Clift, which is here's your idol. You were growing up to this.
That's it.
Right. But any other actors that you watch that you're like, holy shit! I mean, I'm learning from this guy.
You know, I try to learn from everybody that I come into contact with. You know, Peter Sellers is another guy that's my idol. In fact, I think I have Peter Sellers on my screensaver on my phone. Peter Sellers is is a guy that was a genius. Being There is probably my favorite film. Um, I love Montgomery Clift because of the economy of what he did, and I always I always try to be as economic as I can when I do something, and sort of try to the best of my ability to erase the acting. I don't I try not to get caught acting. You know, um,
Otherwise, you're a
I try
fraud
to
if you
make it.
get caught. If you get caught, you're a fraud.
Yeah, I just try to make it feel like you believe the guy, and like you just seeing this dude. So, but there's actors I love very much. David Morse.
Hmm. Right.
David Morse is an incredible actor. And there's a lot of great actors or guys that I'm friends with. I was really good friends with Phil Hoffman.
Wow.
He was Titan. My D'Onofrio is another guy that's
That's
amazing.
great.
My friend Titus Welliver,
Yeah. Hmm.
another great actor. I'm
Well,
really surrounded by
what about him?
Forrest Whitaker.
All right. So
No,
give me an
Forrest
example.
Whitaker.
When you guys do a scene, you and Forrest, like, what's it like? Like, tell me. All right. Director says action. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Working with him he's one of the greatest actors I've ever had the pleasure of sitting across from. Um, it's beyond it's beyond good, man. It's just something that guy. The, you just see you look into his eyes, man, and that guy is so deep. He's so soulful. You
Hmm.
know what he does, and it's so subtle too. He's so subtle, man. What he does,
So
and
good.
he's just it's just beautiful to fucking work with him. Absolutely beautiful. I can't even.
How many takes? How
I
many
can't
takes
even.
did you guys do together? Like, and it's like, shit. All right, we're done. Right? It was quick, right?
Well, it's never quick in television because you're going
Well,
to
that's
shoot a
true.
master, then you're going to
Right.
shoot over and over, and then the doubles, and So it's
Close
in
ups. I
TV is
get it.
unfortunately right, never as quick as you'd want, but it could have been quick. It could have been quick, but the nature of television is to have enough coverage that you can give it to anybody to cut.
Hmm.
You know,
Right. Exactly.
you
But
know.
here's the thing: if there was no close up, if there was just this wide shot, you and him, it would be quick, right? I mean, he's that good.
Yeah, yeah, he's he's amazing. Yeah, he's that good. Yeah, and then I like when directors want to shoot like that, but it's rare you're gonna let anybody shoot. Not in TV, man.
Right. No, not in
Because
TV.
that
No.
you want the studio and the networks want coverage enough that they can cut it any way they want to cut it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
You know, they're the boss of of the situation.
Right. Now with on Hotel Cocaine, Danny Pino and you, I mean, it looked flawless too, man. I mean, you guys were just good.
Danny is a formidable. Danny's a great actor, man. Great actor.
Is he Cuban
I've known
American
Danny a long
too?
time.
Is Danny Cuban too?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the way he was speaking Spanish on the show, I was like, damn, it's so believable, man. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
man, like
Well, you see, it's a rare situation in that particular show that the two central characters of the show are both Cubans from Miami. You have a show set about two Cubans from Miami, so that doesn't generally happen. You know what I mean?
well, like in the movie Scarface, there was only two Cubans, born Cubans that played in that film. It was, may he rest in peace. He just died, Angel, and
Angel Salazar and Steve Bauer.
that's it. Those are the
Yeah,
only true two Cubans that were
I know.
Cubans.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. And you have a situation here where you have these two guys and it doesn't happen a lot, but there it is. You
And
know.
you know what I love about you in your character. You were like a calm drug cartel guy, like the kingpin. Like, yeah, use the gun here. Like there was one scene.
Yeah.
You're like you're watching I think you're in the theater room, right, in your house. You're
Yeah.
like, here's
Yeah.
the gun. Here's the gun. Like no big deal. Not no aggressive. There's no aggressiveness. There's no like here's the gun. And this is what you got to do. Brother, it's simple. Here's the gun, and this is what you got to do.
Yeah, I think because I think ultimately I think I think real power uh,
Is less.
doesn't is less. I mean, there's moments where that guy explodes, but I think
Right.
they're selected. They're selected, and it's like it's but for the most part, he's like, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it like that. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it like this. And I had the freedom there, really, to do pretty much what I wanted.
Yeah. And what? There was another awesome scene too. I mean, they're all great, but the one with the daughter, you're like, oh, I see you went through my cocaine. No, there's no scolding, no reprimanding.
No,
That
Karina
was awesome.
Bradley, she's a formidable actor too. That kid is really good, really really good. She has a very bright future. Yeah, that scene was like, uh, and it was my idea to put her in my chair
Mm. It was just
because
a
I
moment,
said,
right? It was at the moment right there that you
oh,
said, you know what? It
no,
just
I
hit
said to
you.
the director, no, I said to the director, and I said, hey, I want to sit her in my chair because, and then I'm going to sit in the lower chair. I'm going to let her sit in the power chair.
So she feels like she has
She
power,
thinks,
right?
yeah, or so she thinks she knows what's going on, and she thinks she
Right.
knows everything, and I'm going to explain to you how little you know about any of this. But maybe it's a moment of foreshadowing that maybe she's the one who takes over the empire or
Yeah.
whatever the hell.
Yeah. That was
Um,
awesome.
so it's but and then they had to run it, ask Brancato and 14 people if we could do that. It's one of those things about TV where you have to ask
Yeah, exactly. And network
14
calls the
questions.
shots, and the creator calls the shots.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
you
now,
got a lot of cooks there.
one of your was this an acting idea? I don't know if you're involved. Something like with Santeria.
Thank you.
There was a part. The lady comes in and there's a birds in
Yes,
your room. Now
Santeria.
was that an acting idea by you? Did you or was that in the script?
No, that was scripted.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's in the script. That's in the script. Yeah,
Mm,
but that's my childhood. My mother was in that world.
right. Right.
Yeah.
Now I saw something that it says that you suffer from depression. Give me an example. What are you suffering from? Like, give me an example. Like, you wake up and then are you getting a lot of thoughts in your head? Like something putting you down? What is it?
Yeah, I've had anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
depression. It's just like it's a genetic thing. I think my mom had it. It's it's something you just sometimes it's just some days you're a little off. I mean, and some days you're you're better. You know what I mean? But I've been I've been open about it because I think people should be in a way. I think some people think they're embarrassed by it or whatever, but it doesn't embarrass me. It makes me. It's part of of who I am. It's not anything I could ever get rid of. I just sort of deal with it. But it you know, it's part of what makes what makes me want to make stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
But
it's
like, as an
okay. It just
yeah, it's all
is.
right. But I'm just saying, give me an example. You wake up and all of a sudden you're down. Is that what it's like?
Yeah, you can wake up and you're not feeling super up. You're not like super chipper.
Right.
And you just feel a little bit like, you're like, oh, and then you get going, but I do things. You know, I go to Pilates, I go whatever. I do things that have helped it, and then sometimes you're not doing enough things, your tendencies to stay sedentary, and then that's really not good. But it's um it's just something you just deal with, you know what I mean? And it manifests itself in different ways. Anxieties is like a panic. Sometimes you get panic attacks.
Right. And then here's an interesting story. When you got an agent, she told you don't test for this show the next day. You had an opportunity. You had like $13 in your bank account. You had no money.
Yeah, you
And
really did your research, man.
Oh well, brother, man, this is a
Yeah,
scouting report. I gotta know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, there's a woman called Holly Lebed. Yes, this is
Yeah,
a true
tell me that
story. A
story.
woman called Holly.
She literally told you don't show up, don't test for this, and you got no money. And let me tell you something. As an actor, when you have an opportunity to test, and for you viewers, testing means you are testing in front of the suits, the executives, casting. For there's like 30 people in the room. This is the final say right here. And you,
Yeah, that's the people who can decide.
right?
I it was a spinoff of Walker Texas Ranger,
Mm-hmm.
and I, like you said, I had like $13, and I think she called me. The test was on a Monday. She called me on a Sunday, and she said, "How do you feel about this test tomorrow?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm not really sure." She goes, "Is this something you don't really want to go do?" And I go, "Not really. I don't. I just didn't. Um, I think I wanted something different for myself than that show. You know what I mean?" And she said, "Well, then don't go." She goes, "Have faith that it's going to work out. Like you're really, it's going to work out for you. You're good, you know." And and I didn't go.
And you
I
didn't
didn't
feel
go, man.
no
Yeah.
guilt, nothing the next day.
No, it's interesting when you make the pain is in the indecision, but when you make a decision about something, it's kind of freeing. You know what I mean?
Wow. Oh my
You
God.
know.
Because listen, you and I know it as an actor, when you just have $13 in your bank account and this testing could change your life, you just don't know.
But it could have changed my life for the for the worse. It could have changed my life, and the immediate financially would have been better, but it could have in the long run not been good.
Right. So,
Is what she was saying and what I was feeling, you know.
right.
So that's the
Now,
you
I,
know.
I text one of my guys that went to acting school with me, and he was on a show with you in Promised Land. His name is Rolando. And I text
I
him
love that. I love that dude.
and I text him and I said, "Give me the scouting report about Yul Vazquez because I will be interviewing him tomorrow on my podcast." He's like, "Brother, he's a rock star, the best. Just trust me when I say." And there you have it. You see what I mean?
Oh, if you watch this, Rolando, thank you, my brother. I think the same of you. He's terrific. He's a terrific young actor. Uh, he has a soulful vibe himself, man.
Mhm.
I like that kid very much, very much. Um, yeah, Promised Land. I think is he still dating that girl?
I don't even know. I ain't talked to him for a while, and then
Yeah,
when I saw the credits on IMDb Pro, Promised Land, I was like, "Oh shit! I think Rolando was on
yeah,
that show." And then when I saw it, I was
yeah.
like,
He's very good in it.
"Yeah, yeah." So I
In
was like,
fact, that storyline is probably the best storyline in the show. The storyline of when they first come over as uh, as kids, because it starts with
"Hold on, you, hold on.
you know,
What's that noise in the background?"
dude, they're doing construction outside
Oh, okay,
my.
okay, all right, that's fine. All right, I thought it was
Yeah,
part of the
I'm gonna have
construction.
to go because they're literally jackhammering outside. They just started jackhammering,
No, no, but
so,
we can
and my
finish with
wife
that.
shut the windows.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Listen, go ahead, but go ahead, continue that story, and then we'll end it.
Hold on, what did they do? They literally just pulled up with all these vehicles. My wife just said they just pulled up with all these fucking vehicles to start
Okay.
crushing the street. What a disaster!
No, no, but go
Um,
ahead, finish that one, and then we'll go. I get it. Don't worry about it. But so in
wait,
Promised Land,
finish this.
the
No,
story
so
you
they
said.
start with it starts with it's a story of this family that becomes really successful in the wine business. But it
Mm-hmm.
starts with them coming over from Mexico, and this it's the storyline of when they're young coming over to me was maybe the most interesting storyline in the show. I thought they were great, Katia Martin and Mariel Molino and all those kids were great. Just
Yeah.
fantastic. I think Rolando's really good, man.
No,
Really
he's
good.
good. Listen, when you play along with Meisner actors, they know what's up. They know when they're fully trained. They know what's up. They know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I can usually, I can tell pretty quickly if somebody, like I said, decided how they were going to do this. That's a pet peeve of mine
Right.
because I think they're robbing themselves of all the fun.
So when are you shooting Hotel Cocaine again?
That's a question I think your viewers should ask MGM Plus.
Maybe we should send Tony Soprano lookalike or Colin Farrell and say, "Listen, buddy, take care of this right now. All right, today."
We don't know. We don't know. It's a decision that they have to make. I don't know how they do I don't know how they figure out their things, but I think people should reach out to MGM Plus and say, "What are you guys doing?"
So is season 2? Is it officially picked up yet?
No,
No, they didn't pick it up yet. They didn't order it.
not
Sorry.
yet.
They didn't order it yet.
That has not been ordered. No,
Jeez, what are they thinking? Come on, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's just the game. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But
Well, listen, I know you got to go, and I really want to thank you so much for coming on.
no, man, Eddie, thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. This is absolute pleasure. I think you're a fucking rock star, and
Thank you.
and
Same to you, man.
talk about a guy who did their research, and you came with props. You had props and everything. You even had a picture of my wife and I at the Bad Boys 2 premiere.
Well, you better tell her that I love her too, all right? Yeah, she can see it right here. We have evidence here. She could come see it. Here you go, right there.
Sweetie, come here. Sweetie. Hold on.
You asked what kind of program I use. So
He's on the.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna put down. Talk to you. Hold on, wait.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. That's Eddie.
How are you? So nice meeting you. You are the Disney legend, of course. We know that already. And a beautiful person
nice
too. Thank you. Same to you. I said to him, I asked him, I said, well, who hit on who? Was she all over you or were you all over her? So we want your story now. And let's see if this matches right here.
I told him the truth.
I think it was mutual.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what I said.
Because I said,
Mutual.
I told him, I was like, I'm so happy she didn't put you in the friend zone. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a great wife.
No, we were friends.
We were friends
and then we
first.
weren't friends,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So look, my coffee shop he actually goes to. I own a coffee shop in 8th Avenue, 14th Street, inside that commercial building. It's called Terremoto Coffee.
Oh, great. So
Yeah.
cool.
And I have a jazz bar opening up in March right near you guys on Jane Street, 30 Jane Street.
Oh my gosh. We'll definitely come.
Well, you better.
My cousin lives right around the corner from there.
Okay, cool. Beautiful, yeah.
Terremoto means earthquake.
Does it? Well,
Terremoto?
Terremoto, okay. But don't get offended. My coffee's from Colombia, not Cuba, so I'm sorry. But I...
No,
Good coffee.
it's great coffee.
But I smoke your cohibas from Cuba.
Yeah, you
okay?
do. Wow. Dude, you smoke that fast.
Well, you know what it is? I'm always surrounded by athletes, and we're always at a cigar lounge. Like I'm with Dr. J, Joe Theismann. We all smoke cigars and shoot the shit. That's how we are, man.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, my brother, thank you, my friend.
You
Bye.
got
Nice
it.
to meet
You too. So listen, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I just want you to do something, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna end the broadcast.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. To be real quick. Okay, finish. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. My name is Yul Vazquez. Please subscribe to Eddie Mata's YouTube channel and all his social media platforms. He's a hell of a guy.